Hello, future millionaires and billionaires, and welcome back to the Student Investor Podcast, where we explore the world of investing and finance. I am your host, Ivan Sambo, and today we are diving into our weekly segments called Stock Review Wednesday. And in today's episode, guys, we're taking a closer look into Coca-Cola, one of the world's most recognized brand. We're talking about the share in general terms, what to know about it in the most simple, basic way possible. So without wasting any time, let's get into today's episode. Hello, future millionaires and billionaires. Before we get started on today's episode, I just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, the Shift app. Guys, the Shift app is one of the most powerful and user-friendly investment platform that makes investing into the global world much more simple. You can invest into stocks and ETF available in the New York stock market inside the Shift app. So do ensure you download the Shift app today and start investing with comfort. Now let's take a closer look into the company we are reviewing on today's Stock Review Wednesday. My apologies for that, Stock Review Wednesday. So today we'll be taking a closer look into Coca-Cola, guys, the world's largest and the world's giant beverage company, which has been operating basically for over a century and operates in nearly almost all the countries in the world, with a portfolio of more than 500 brands under it. And in recent years, guys, Coca-Cola has been able to diversify their offering to include more health conscious options such as such as tea, juice, as well as sparkling water, guys. And when you look into Coca-Cola's recent financial performance, the company has reported an annual revenue for 2022 which is sitting at around 43 billion rand, guys. And these, not rand, so 43 billion US dollars. Why I'm making so much mistakes today is because I'm recording in the dark thanks to Eskom. But guys, this company has seen an annual revenue for 2022 of around 43 billion US dollars, and this is an increase of 11.25% from 2021. And Coca-Cola's annual revenue for 2021, guys, was around 38.655 billion US dollar, which was also an increase of 17.09% from 2022, guys. The only time Coca-Cola has seen a decrease was in 2019, which was a decrease of around 11.41% in annual revenue, guys. So in terms of revenue growth, the company is very focused and the company is growing very well and has been focusing mainly on innovation and also diversifying their portfolio. And we'll get deep into how they're diversifying their portfolio in a little bit. But guys, they have been seeing increasing customer, and the demand for Coca-Cola, guys, is very high and has always been high for over a century. This company has been operating. So in the simple term, guys, Coca-Cola as a company to invest into has a very positive performance and a positive track record to back itself up. And when we go into look at the metrics, majority of the metrics the company has are very solid, so I can't say there's something negative I notice on their financial metrics that they have. The company currently has a market capitalization of around 289 billion, guys, which is very good for a beverage company. And look at the size of Coca-Cola, guys. To have a market capitalization of almost 248 billion is something to recognize. You cannot ignore that. And their price to earning as well, as reported as of 24 February 2023, is around 24.13, which is about below the general average of beverage companies throughout the world. But this shows that Coca-Cola, guys, has a future for more growth, as well as the potential to see this company are performing very well is very, very, very high. So investors have a positive outlook into Coca-Cola. And in terms of the market trends as well, guys, when we talk about market trends, we're talking about how is the market welcoming or favorable for Coca-Cola as a beverage company. Recently, the biggest problem Coca-Cola has been facing with, mostly in Europe and in America, has been government regulation, because government is trying to be more health conscious in terms of what can be sold to their people. And looking at the reputation of Coca-Cola throughout the years has not been good when it comes to health products, and that's why they are now driving very aggressively in introducing health conscious products into their brand. That's why we're seeing them driving very heavy to introduce tea products, to introduce juice products, to introduce sparkling water products, so they can diversify their products and their brand and what they're offering to the general market, at the same time being able to meet up with government regulations and policies around being health conscious. But in general, the company has been able to adapt to those changes and be able to meet up to those heavy regulations that have been imposed by governments throughout the world. And in terms of competition, Coca-Cola doesn't have that much of a big competition, but there are local brands popping out in individual countries that Coca-Cola operates in that are giving Coca-Cola a run for their money, but haven't reached the level that you can say these competitors are a threat to Coca-Cola. And I know people love to throw Pepsi there when every time you talk about Coca-Cola, say Pepsi is a competition to Coca-Cola. Guys, Pepsi is no longer a competition. We closed that debate in 2002 when I was still in my diapers, if I can put it like that. That competition was closed back then. Pepsi is no longer a competition to Coca-Cola. Let's be honest to ourselves. Let's not try to lie to ourselves. Pepsi is no longer a competition to Coca-Cola. And in terms of the future outlook of Coca-Cola, guys, Coca-Cola have a strong brand position and a strong brand reputation, as well as a diversified portfolio. So the outlook of Coca-Cola for the future is very positive, and I am not being able to see a little bit of threats to Coca-Cola besides government regulation. And in Europe, as I said, in Europe, those regulations have been coming in heavy, and Coca-Cola has had to change and adapt to those regulations, which takes away from the originality of Coca-Cola that we know it for here in Africa. But luckily, here in Africa and South America, as well as in America itself, those regulations have been that much heavy in terms of impacting the operation of the company. So we are seeing the company now driving more of innovation in the product they're offering, driving more technology as well in how they produce their brands. And also sustainability has been something that the company has been pushing much more heavy into doing, because they're trying to ensure that the much as they operate to meet up the customers' need, they're able to be sustainable in the way they do it, which is very good, and tries to limit the backlash it gets from the general public and people trying to dissociate themselves from Coca-Cola, because when they see Coca-Cola as being a company that care about sustainability and taking proactive steps to reach those sustainability innovative goals that they have, the company is able to win like that. So what does that mean for us as investors, guys? Coca-Cola has a long track record of success, number one. I think Coca-Cola, for a company that's operated for a century, it has the history to back itself up in terms of being able to navigate a complexity that comes with the politics of the world. And we saw this not only just back in the days, but even now with the COVID-19, Coca-Cola was able to navigate that very well. They even saw an increase in their annual revenue during COVID-19 and during 2021 and even 2022. So they have a good track record. And also the company, one thing I love about the company for us as investors is the localization of the brand, right? So what Coca-Cola typically does is that when it operates in a specific country and has this huge portfolio of brands under their name, they always try to see which ones speak to that country they're operating in, and also how can they incorporate some of the elements, some of the drinks that the country's people love into the Coca-Cola brand, and create a brand that speak to the people and ensure that they create new products that are native to that specific country they're operating in. And I love that about the brand. And also, when it comes to the beverage industry, Coca-Cola has one of the largest diversified portfolio. I can't keep on saying that. And they have a focus on innovation, as I said before. As well, guys, they have a strong, favorable outlook from investors. And some of their dividends as well, they pay out dividends. And majority of dividends, investors love Coca-Cola for that reason. And I heard this year that Coca-Cola will be increasing the dividend they pay out. I'm not sure about the specific amount yet. I'll check it out and I'll post it on my Twitter account. So Coca-Cola is a good long-term company. If you're looking to invest for long-term, Coca-Cola is the company to do that. But short-term is not. It's a long-term investment when it comes to Coca-Cola. And as I said, the credit record of this company proves itself over and over again. So I think that's it in terms of looking into the performance of Coca-Cola, looking into how the company has performed in the most general way possible. I tried to simplify everything, guys. I did not want to complicate things for ourselves, because Coca-Cola, guys, is a complicated company. But I think the input I provided today were enough to satisfy investors on what this company truly means for us as retail investors, and how it operates and how it does its things, guys. So I think it's a great opportunity for you guys to remind you guys that Coca-Cola is a long-term investment company. It's not short-term, and also has dividends, and also is operating within the entire globe. So that's it for today's episode of the Student Investor Podcast. Join me, guys, next week as I take a closer look to another company listed in the stock market. And as a reminder, guys, all the companies I talk about in the Stock Review Wednesday are available inside the Shift app, and you can be able to invest into those companies and be able to buy their stocks. At the same time, guys, I just want to remind you guys that none of everything I said constitute as financial advice, but only for educational purposes. And do ensure that you do your own research and ensure that you understand what you are investing into before you put your money and buy any stock that we talk about on Stock Review Wednesday. So remember, guys, to download the Shift app and start investing to the global world after doing your own research. As always, I am Ivan Specialist Sambo, your student investor, and thank you so much for listening. Until next time, happy investing.